Recording that, and what I'll do is I'll be posting that later on as well, on the low light group page and also on my YouTube channel for this particular session. So they should be at the very beginning of the chat of the links. If you don't see them, let me know and I'll repost the links again for you guys. Okay. Hard to watch Lightroom on YouTube. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it is always hard to watch Lightroom. I try not to do. That's why I don't like doing too much editing on the YouTube channel, because the screens always look so small or whatever, or it's hard to see the text and stuff. Let's see what else we got going on. Back to bi-monthly. Yeah. So just keep in mind too. I also do. I also monitor the Bradenton photo group as well. But really, most of you, some of you are already on both groups. But if you want to, just go ahead and check. You can check it out on Meetup as well. Really, anybody can join. Even if you're on this group and you want to do something, you can always do that. You go back and forth. It's not a problem. I had a comment about that. If somebody can only join one or the other, you can join as many as you want. Let's see what else we got going on here. And the last thing on my notes here that I wanted to ask. Now, I'm not putting it up for like a debate tonight, but something for you guys to kind of stir in the pot for the next meeting in January. I've been thinking about sending a submission to FCCC, which is the Florida Camera Club Council, because they have several exhibitions. Now, some of you might be already in that with other photo clubs. So I'll be basically sending out something on the low light group photo page and on the meetup page about asking people's opinions about that and see where the group kind of falls in line as far as that goes. Because it's a chunk of change to do all that stuff, And so that means that we might have to come up with some sort of dollar scheme so everyone to be equal for the whole thing. But with that, anyone got any quick questions about what I just went over? Yeah, I'm gonna be doing that next. No, okay. If you want to, you should be able to unmute yourself, I think, at this point. If you need me to, raise your hand and I can unmute you as well.
I'm here.
Okay. So if anybody's got background noise on, I'll be muting you so I don't hear the background noise. So just keep that in mind. All right. So let me go to this. Where did I put it? Oh, I've lost it already. Hang on a second, guys. Oh, there it is. Let's see, desktop. Here we go. All right. Hey, Ranieri, can you just make sure that the people are muted if they're making a background noise? Just give me 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. I thought I had this open here, but it's trying to give me issues. All right, here we go. Now I've got it. All right, so this will be just a quick overview, just some visual things like that, just to go over some stuff. For those of you who've already noticed that we got a guest here tonight. His name is Ranieri Palavacini, and some of you might already know him. He's our Sony Specialist here at Johnson PhotoImaging. I asked him to stop in. He's going to share some pictures for some of his things that he shot down in Peru, I believe, if I remember correctly. This is like one of his right here. So if you get a chance, you can check his stuff out also on Facebook and the Instagrams, and you can always check them out there too. But I'll let him do more of that stuff when we get into that in just a second. I'm just going to go cover a couple more things on I'll release it to Ranieri, then we can go over that stuff. Now, I didn't get a lot of submissions for photo reviews. So if you do have a photo, you're going to submit it, just post it on the meetup group page on the low light group for this thing, and we'll get to that at the end here. Now, Mac, say hi, Mac.
Hi, guys.
Mac is here at the store. He's, like I said, he's the only one that decided to take advantage of the in-person invite. Through the 1st of March or through the end of April, we are been invited to display our low light photography work. So if you're interested in doing that, this would be a great time to do that. We're going to try. My motto is always print big or go home. So the idea is if you want to print your stuff, that's fine, but don't do small stuff. Try to do the big stuff. 16 by 20 to 20 by 30, I think, is what we should probably be shooting for. What I'd like to do is fill the whole entire place up as best as we can with amazing low light photography. It all depends on how many participants. Otherwise it'll be just a show of Dono. We don't want a show of just Dono. We want to show a little bit of everybody. So we're still working out some of the details for some of that stuff. So, but basically it's going to be straightforward. And when I get everything else worked out, I'll be posting that as well too. But I wanted you guys to let you know, you got to have your stuff ready before March, before the beginning of March. So if you got some 16 by 20s already done or 20 by 30s already done, great. If not, get out there and get some of those done. Until the end of January 31st, if you're with the low light photo group, I'm going to do 20% off. Well, I'm going to be allowed to do 20% off any metal prints and canvas for those things as well too. Hey, Ranieri, can you let that person in? I can't quite get to that where it says it.
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
Thanks,
I got it. No problem.
Yeah, and keep in mind, there's no cost to do all this stuff too. This is just an invite from the Manatee Performing Arts Center, so building, sorry. And they're going to be basically, they're being really generous for this amount of space that we're going to have available to us. So I'm looking forward to doing all that stuff. At the end of this month, if you haven't noticed already, we're going to be doing the Sunshine at the Skyway again. That's going to be at 7 a.m. So you're going to have to beat feet because they don't open up until 7. Those little dots are those aren't dust on the sensor. Those are just birds flying around. I thought those dots were I thought those little black specks were where it was dust on the sensor, but no, they turned out to be birds. Getting everywhere, So if you guys are interested in trying to get something like this, we'll be doing this again on November 28th at 7 a.m. Yeah, again, you can go to on Eventbrite or on Meetup and sign up either way. It's a free event. Of course, you got to pay for your own admission to get into the park. So just keep it in mind. We're going to be meeting on East Beach and Fort DeSoto. Basically, it's right there at the very tippy tip, so we can actually see it come up through the arches of the Skyway. All right. Let's see what else. I think that's about it. So Ranieri, I'm going to release my share to you, and I'm going to let you go. So again, Ranieri again is our Sony Specialist. He's again an amazing photographer in his own right. He just did something here at Johnson PhotoImaging about his trip to Brook Falls, shooting the bears up there, catching the salmon and stuff. So that was pretty easy. But if you guys are not pretty easy, it was pretty cool to see. We actually have a print of that here at the store, which we're very happy that Ranieri let us do. But he did a really cool, did some really good, some really awesome, fantastic photos over there in Peru. And I wanted him to kind of share some of that stuff with us before we get into other parts of this thing. So Mr. Ranieri, it's off to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Donovan. By the way, the pictures that you show are beautiful in the morning. I'm gonna try to make it in the morning there with the bridge and the sun. That looks like a dust in the sensor, man. I don't know if you're tricking us or something.
No, those are birds, man. Those are birds.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So, well, welcome to everybody, and thank you for having me, Donovan. I appreciate that. So, about 2 or 3 years ago, I started traveling a lot, and I say, you know what? I mean, I always bring cameras with me and things like that, but I started traveling to different places. Specific for photography. you know, sometimes I can bring my wife, sometimes don't. By the way, my baby, she's 3.5, and she can pop up at any minute because I left her with baby Sharky in her room. So because if she sees this setup I have here now, she will be like right here with me, trying to talk as well. So I'm sorry if that happened. You know, anyway. So I started traveling couple years ago, and I said, you know what, let me just start doing trips specifically for photography, because I'm a very outdoor guy. I love to, you know, to do sports, to do different things. And I find out that all these beautiful pictures that you guys see, right, from people, you know, even from Donovan, from anybody, those are not easy to take. Like you know, like we just saw the bridge, right? The bridge and the sun, you have to get up early. And, you know, I mean, you guys drive there. I mean, everybody drive there. But when it's a little bit more remote places, you really have to walk a lot or take horses, or so it's a little bit of effort and getting to that picture, you know. Many people don't see that. Many people just see, oh wow, beautiful pictures. Or even me, you know, I see some Instagram pages and all the pictures look like amazing. And in my mind, I was like, yeah, of course, if you get to travel there, you know, you get to travel to all these amazing places, right? Anybody can take that picture. And little that I knew, I find out extremely quickly that it's not just getting there. It's a lot of logistics to get to those places. Like, well, you have to have money to travel. You have to spend money. You have to spend time, a lot of time sometimes. You have to spend hours walking the majority of the time just to get one picture or to get the picture that you want, right? Sometimes you have to go in horses. You have to pass through rivers. And, you know, last trip I went to Peru, I was washing my face in the morning, which it was very cold anyway, but I had to wash my face to, you know, like really wake up. And I slipped and I fell on a rock in my back, like in my lower back. And even though it seemed like a little stupid fall, right? That it just, I have this roller here with me, right? It's a roller. So I roll in my back this pretty much every day. And it was only into like last week that the pain really stopped. So I hit, I don't know if a nerve, I hit a bone or something in my back that I was in pain for a long time, over a month, just with that pain. So again, when we see all these pictures, we think, oh man, you just go to nice places and he got it. A lot of people doesn't know that you have to really get up extremely early. And when I say early, it's 3 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock or 11 or whatever it is, to get, you know, Milky Ways, right? In the middle of the night. Sometimes they disappear early, sometimes they disappear late. So it depends. But not only the Milky Ways, but during the day, you was walking, you was going horses, you was trying to catch sunsets, sunrises, and, you know, sometimes without eating. And when you get to eat, you know, even though you have the chef there that they cook for you and everything, you have to pick and choose, right? Oh man, if we stop eating for an hour, we're gonna miss the sunset, which is an hour away, walking, right? So it's a lot of moving parts. So that being said, yes, like Donovan said, I just came from Alaska. We did a show in the store not too long ago. I might show you a couple pictures at the end. But for now, I want to show you a trip that I did to Peru. And all I'm going to show you now is only like 10 or 12 pictures. I did them in different parts of Peru. So I've been to Peru 3 times this year, 3 times. Mountains, I love mountains. Different mountains of Peru. I've been to Cusco and I've been to different areas, like 7 or 10 hours in car from Lima, which is the capital, from the, you know, which is the capital of the country. So let me share this screen here. You guys see, correct? You guys hear me?
Yeah, I could see it.
You can see it. Okay,
see it,
perfect.
sorry.
Okay, good. So this picture, again, it was rainy, it was foggy. When we get there, it stopped raining. So that was amazing. That was very, very good. I usually, when it's water, I try to do a little bit of long exposure. The reason I do long exposure is just to smooth the water. Even though it should be pretty smooth here, but sometimes it's wind, and it's a lot of wind because we high in the mountains. And if you see the little waves in the water, that's okay. But if you see it smooth, you just get to, it doesn't distract the picture, correct? So this one, most of my pictures, I shoot it with either 14 millimeters or 16-35, 2.8 lens. This picture, I took it with A7R4 with 16-35, 2.8. I shot this at f11, if I'm not mistaken. So as you see, everything is from the foreground all the way to the background, extremely clear. I came actually 2 times. I came one time with to take this picture, and then a couple of days later, when we finished the trip, I asked my family, because my brother lives in Cusco, and I asked him if he's been there, and he said no. Oh, I think he did, but not his wife or his sons. My nephews. So I took the whole family a couple of days later. And do you think I could take a picture like this a couple of days later? Absolutely not, because it was absolutely full of people, full of people. It was like, I don't know, 100 people, 50 people in there. I don't remember, but it was a lot. And I actually took out my drone the second time as well when I went with my brother. And right away, they came to me, one guy from the park around there, and they told me that I cannot fly drones there. So again, the first time I went specifically for photography, so we get up extremely early. We go there when there's no people. It's just totally different experience when you go to a trip or a excursion for photography or video, photography and video, specifically for that. It's not the same like, okay, let's take a trip with the whole family, and along the way I can take some pictures. Yes, of course, I will do the same. Even if I'm going for vacation, I will take some pictures, but it is not the same thing, because you have to pay attention, obviously, of the wife or of the baby, and they need your attention, and it's just it's a family trip. It's not a photography trip, right? So that being said, we go to the second picture. By the way, this is called Laguna, which means lake, Laguna of Imantai. And the way those pictures, I'm sorry, the colors that you see, that's what you see with your eyes. It's incredible. Sometimes you see it even more blue or more green. And the reason is when the sun hits that lake. But everything is going to be a little bit more contrasty. It was kind of cloudy. That's what you see there, because the mountain in the back where you see the ice, the white ice, what is it called? The glacier. So those glaciers on top, that mountain is extremely, extremely high, like very, very high up. And when it's a clear day, you can see the whole thing. I think we went there in not at the best time to take the picture in this mountain. So we go to the second one. So this one, this one here, I just came back from this trip here a month, actually October 1st, I came back. So I went like September, I don't know, 25th or 24th to October 1st. So it was like a week that I went there. So a little bit over a month, I guess. Yes, these are 4 peaks. Actually, a little bit. There's another peak here on the left that you don't see on the picture. But I believe the peak on the left, the mountain on the left, they actually made a movie of 2 guys from England. The name of the movie is Falling into the Void or something like that. I'm sorry, I forgot, but I can tell Donovan later so he can tell you. But that movie, so anyway, one of the Sherpa guys told us, oh, you guys see the movie about that mountain? And we're like, movie? No, we didn't see no movie. And he told us The Void or something, the name of the movie. And he said, I have it in the pen drive. So that night, actually, we played it in a laptop. And it was extremely windy. The tent, so the tent where we eat and things like that, it's like a nice big tent, right? So we like, a little table, 4, 6 people. So we were watching the movie and it was so windy. Actually, I have a video on my phone about that. It was crazy because we were watching the movie in front of the mountain they did the movie. The guys, they almost died. Like it actually was extremely good movie. But anyway, going back to the picture, the same thing, 1635, I shot it most likely at 16. When it's during the day, in the morning, pretty much during the day, I use neutral density filters, graduated. So I like the soft. Well, sometimes the hard is more for, different situations, like when it's water and the plane or the it's a hard shadow or a hard, there's some coming up or something. I use the hard, the transition, the hard, but most of the time I use the soft transition. I have like, 2 stops, 3 stops, 4 stops of ND filters graduated to compensate the sky, the lower part with the sky. So the background, right? The sky usually the sky is about 3 stops higher than the foreground, not the foreground, but the lower ground, I guess. These pictures, sometimes I shoot it with 3 exposures and 5 exposures, and I do bracketing and I put them together in post-production. Most of the time, I also use a polarized filter before the filter holder. So most of the time I have. In this particular case, I was using Lee filters, and to be honest with you, I have a kind of different brands of filters, and Lee sent me this kit of filters, and I was trying the Lee filters in this trip. One thing I didn't like about the Lee filters is that the polarizer, they give you like a 95 millimeters, which is pretty wide and big, but it was in front of the lens. So at 16 millimeters, I was vignetting a tiny bit. So I couldn't shoot at 16 millimeters. I had to shoot probably 17 or 18. I could have corrected in post-production, but I just zoom in a little bit in 18 millimeters or so with a full frame camera. This camera that I use here was an Alpha 1, it's 50 megapixels. And again, the lens 1635. I try not to bring too many lenses to these trips, even though I end up bringing a lot of lenses. In the beginning of the trip, it's like, no, I'm going to bring just what I need. But I end up bringing 3, 4 lenses maximum. To the Bears was like pretty much the first time ever that I brought like 2 lenses, 124, 105, that was Alaska, and 100 to 400. My friend is bringing 100 to 400 and 600 millimeters, like prime 600, which we used it probably like 10% of the time. 90% of the time we use the 100 to 400. So here I brought 1635 millimeters. I brought a 14 millimeters 1.8. I brought the 50 1.2 for the Milky Way that I want to do some 50 millimeters with the Milky Way. And then I think that's it. I brought like 3 lenses, 3, 4 maximum. So I brought a camera, an Alpha 1, and I brought A7R4 just in case anything happened with one camera. I have a second camera in the bag. But I didn't took it out at all. It was just shooting pretty much everything with one camera. I think my next trip, I will bring a second camera, just a video camera like the A7S3, and I'm gonna start shooting either video of the Milky Way because it's amazing for low light. You can shoot at 12,800 ISO very much like with a very, very little noise. Either a 640 or a 12,800 is about the same thing. It's just a tiny bit more noise, which is insane to hear that. You guys must be saying, well, this guy's crazy. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But anyway, it is that crazy. It is just like that. It is amazing. So anyway, next time I will do that, just to do any either time lapse of the sunrise and sunsets, or video in the Milky Way at night and things like that. So at least I have two cameras, one in a tripod and things like that. So I also brought only one tripod with me. I brought a Gitzo tripod, fiber carbon, as light as possible, but also it's strong. So it's not like a very, very portable one. It's kind of big, but the reason I do that is because it's very windy. Sometimes, probably the majority of the times, it is extremely windy. So you need a strong tripod to compensate that vibration, or not to get the vibration up to the camera. So anyway, so yeah, this picture, 1635. I did use the polarizer, I guess, and sometimes that I needed a wider angle, either I would just take out the polarizer in the front, because that
Ranieri.
Yes, sir.
Hey, sorry,
Yes, sir.
Margaret wants to know where is this again? Can you say the location one more time?
Yes, this location is a different location. So let me look it up here in my Instagram account, because I wrote it there. Those names don't come easy. That's why I don't.
But this was 7 hours away, right?
I'm sorry, probably more. So it's like 6 hours in car to a location. Oh, it's called Huaraz. So from Lima to Huaraz is about 6 hours in car, right? And from Huaraz, it's another 5 or 6 hours deep into the mountains again. So yeah, I don't know, like 12, 14 hours from Lima in car, no plane.
That's a trip.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And oh, that's another thing. And sometimes I guess the majority that happened to all of us, right? That when we have the equipment, we say, oh, I have to bring it, because if I need it, I'm gonna use it. Why am I gonna have it if I'm not gonna bring it to a trip, photography trip? So you bring a lot of stuff. You bring light, you bring like the monitor, like I have a monitor like a Ninja 5, which I'll be able to record video or see. I'm seeing myself through that monitor right now, right in front of the camera. So it's a big, bright monitor. And I said, at night, instead of seeing the Milky Way with that little, screen of the camera, let me just put the monitor. I see it better. I'll be able to focus better. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And then you're so cold over there. That's another thing, when, things that you have to pay to be here, right? Like, it's extremely cold sometimes, not all the time. So it's extremely cold. So what happened is you're so cold, you don't want to go back to the tent to get your stuff. No, man, you just want to put your camera, your tripod, and start shooting. Forget about everything else. So, believe me, it happened to me many, many times that, I bring the monitor, I bring this, I bring that, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to bring the second camera. I don't bring nothing, just one camera, shoot, and that's it. Get my picture and go to the tent because it's so cold or something, right? So some other times I don't feel that probably stressed out or something, and I'm just enjoying the view, and it's amazing. And even though it's cold, I said, you know what, I don't care, I'm here, I'm not going to be here, I don't know if I'm going to come back to this location ever again. So I just walk to my tent and put the tripod. Not for Milky Way, it's kind of quick, but when it's something else, I bring, even if it's a night and it's very cold, I put the time, I put the second tripod, the second camera, and so on. So don't feel like I'm always like this, or certain, like the way I'm telling you is like that all the time. No. So it varies, right? You're extremely tired sometimes. So, you just want to take the picture and go to bed or something like that, or go to the tent. Sometimes you're not as tired and you just stay shooting all night because the thing is just so amazing. I'll tell you one thing. Let me put this picture here. On this right here, you guys see this?
That looks cold.
Yes. So this doesn't supposed to be like that. This almost never snow here, almost never throughout the whole year. So this is very rare, right? This is the Red Valley. It's called the Red Valley. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you the name. I'm sorry. I didn't tell you the name of the other place. So the other place is called Huaraz. Huaraz is kind of the main thing. And from Huaraz, like I said, you're already 5-6 hours from Lima. And from Huaraz, you take another trip to the Cordillera, which is the line of mountains, the mountains. And Peru is 3 cordilleras. It's like Cordillera Negra, black, like the black line of mountains. The white because of the old snow in the top. And so white, black, and is the other one. The other one, I guess, is this one, the Huaraz Cordillera, which is many mountains, right? Or many mountains. So we crossed from one to another one. It was like 3 hours in horses. I walked it. I walked. Everybody was in horses except me. My horse was empty. I mean, without me, because I want to walk it out the heat. Remember, I fall into that morning. I fall into the river and I hit my back with the rock. Well, I said, if I get into that horse, problem, because I hit my back, it's gonna get cold. I'm gonna get stiff and I'm not gonna be able to walk. So it's gonna be worse. I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna walk to get the circulation flowing of blood and I don't get, stiff or nothing like that. So I walked like three and a half hours. Everybody was in horses. I was walking through one cordillera to another one. So like, we crossed it. It was amazing. Very, very beautiful.
Yeah,
so
it's very beautiful.
So La Cordillera, where I showed you the picture before, it's called Cordillera Huayhuash. So I guess I can write it down here. I can write it down in the chat so you guys can see it. But it's so the main city, I guess, is Huaraz, and then this is La Cordillera de Huayhuaraz. So I spell it for you guys. It's H-U, A as an apple, Y as an yellow, no, Y, yeah. H-U-A-S-H. That is the actual mountain, the actual where you just saw that. So here, what happened here? So this was extremely cold. It snowed. We were going into the horses in the morning to go up here where you guys see the picture. And in the morning, it was hitting the snow in the face. We were like, wow, that was extremely, extremely cold. This is about 5,000 meters, 4,800 meters or so. If I tell you a story, you won't even believe it. I went into the water in a lake on top, and I have video at 4,800 meters, which is about, I don't know, 16 or 17,000 feet or something like that. In the water, racing a guy, a local from there. My friends know that I used to do triathlons and things like that. So they're, but how come you don't go in that guy, even though, you don't race that guy to go into the water a little loop and come back? And I'm like, I raced them all day. Okay, let's do it. So we went in. I couldn't even breathe when I get out. I was freezing to death. Anyway, that's a different story for another moment, I guess, right? But I was about to tell you something about this, and I forgot. What was I about to tell you about this, Donovan?
You were just talking about the location, about the snow, and you were walking with the horses and stuff like that. Everyone's probably chomping at the bit. They're looking forward to seeing the Milky Way pictures.
Oh, okay. So anyway, let's go to another picture. So, so this is like from a different angle, the pictures of the what is it called, the one you just saw like 2 pictures ago, right? Of the mountains. This is kind of the same mountains, and I'm grabbing the other mountain on the left there. And then this is basically the same thing. This is where the guy they did the movie and everything. They went. So this way, this face of the mountain looks kind of easy, right? The other side is extremely sharp and it's very difficult, technical to hike. So again, this is with the same lens, pretty much 1635. People lives in these houses, in these little shacks there or something. The people live there. So this is a lake that this is very, very nice. This is actually the color of the lake. This is gonna be 3 lakes, like 20 to 30 minutes apart. And at the end of the lake, like in the main viewer of the lake, you will see another picture with 3 lakes. And it's about the first lake all the way to the third one, probably is about an hour of walking, of hiking, I guess. I couldn't get down to the lake right now because this is like a cliff. You don't see it too much in the picture because it's very wide angle, but it's extremely like, it's very deep from where I am to the water, where the water is about 100 meters or something like, it's very high. So it is very high. I don't know how to, it doesn't, the picture doesn't do it justice. This is another picture that we went to shoot. Again, this about an hour to walk from the camp. So from the tent, an hour or 40 to 50 minutes, not too much. This is taken with a 1635, about 1.6 seconds open, the shutter, and the ISO at 100, or yeah, about 100. And yeah, pretty much all with the same filters. I had the filters, probably the 2 stops I have here, the 2 stops, graduated neutral density filter, graduated soft. What else? Going back from this camp, from this location, we hear a little dog barking, and then a little guy crying. So this river that you see right here, that's what I'm talking about. A little dog, a little puppy got stuck. He jumped in that little river, and it was like a little island. And the mom couldn't come and get him. So we were trying to get him. We saw the little puppy. We couldn't even jump. So we said, well, let's leave all the equipment in the camp and come back to save the little puppy. It took us like 3 hours to find the puppy again because it was pure dark later after this. And we saved the puppy. I got videos. I mean, it was a trip. It was a trip. It was crazy. It was really, really nice to save the puppy. But anyway, let me show you a different picture from here. So this is the same location. It didn't paint too much. So it painted just a tiny little bit, and it didn't paint red like the whole thing. It was just a little bit. So we're trying to catch it, and that's what we did. By the way, any questions? Any questions for what I'm talking about or what I'm doing? Any questions? No. So let's start. Let me show you the three.
I got a question. I got a
yeah,
question.
tell me.
So, well, actually, it's a comment. Actually, did you have any? Somebody wanted to know. They said they can't. With those leaf filter polarizers, you can't shoot below 20 millimeters without vignetting. Did you have any vignetting issues with yours or anything like that?
Well, yes, that's what I was mentioning. These leaf filters, because you put the polarizer in the front of the whole filter holder. So the filter holder, you can put, I think, up to 2 filters, right? Like one solid, if you shouldn't do it in the day or something, one solid ND filter, 10 stops, 6 stops, 4 stops, 16 stops, whatever you want. And then you put the neutrally dense if you want to. And then on top of that, it has a little clips or something where you put the 95 millimeter filter, 95 millimeter polarized, like a clip on, like a clip. And yes, at 16 millimeters, it was vignetting. At 18 millimeters already, it wasn't vignetting at 18. So I could shoot at probably 18 or 19 millimeters.
Right.
That I remember.
It was me, Dono. And yes, if you shoot below 20, at least with my lenses, you will get vignetting big time. Not removable with post-processing. So I usually, when I use the kit, I have to keep in mind that I cannot go below 20 mils. regardless of the aperture you use.
Correct. You're correct. Actually, I do have a friend. So I don't have to buy them. I'm gonna get them. The Nisi filters with the polarizer, it doesn't Vignera 16. At least his. The filter, I'm sorry, the polarizer goes on the actual filter, like behind, not in the front. And I like those.
Ranieri, that you're correct. The problem with the leaf filter is the polarizer is the very last element that you will install on the holder. With the Nisi, you put it right against your lens. Basically, it's the first thing that will be there, and therefore you don't get vignetting.
You got it. 100%. Yes. So yes, absolutely. It's just like that. So yeah, man, I had to shoot 18 or 19 or 20 or something like that. But yeah, that's the only thing I don't like. Well, but I'll tell you, I might use it sometimes if they send them to me because it was like a test, like a contest. So if I win with one of these pictures you guys are seeing now, they'll send me a kit, right? But if they don't send me the kit, I don't think I'm buying that. I'm buying something else. Well, yes. So let me admit Charlie here. So let me show you this picture here. So this picture here, you see the 3 legs. Actually, the 3rd leg, you barely see it in the back. And the first picture, so this picture right here, this leg is the very last one, almost that you don't see it. That's that one over there. So imagine hiking all of this. So the last piece of this hike is about, to a normal people, like about an hour. And I did a little bit faster because I'm thinking that my friends are not going to make it. And I'm sorry. So my friends are telling me, I'm sorry, the guide, the photography guy, the guy that took us there, he's like, listen, nobody's gonna get there. So if you're gonna get there after the 2nd leg, you take off. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna leave my friends behind or whatever. He said, you're not gonna get a picture if you don't get there. I mean, if you don't take off, because that's another thing, the time of the day, the clouds are coming.
Right.
If the light doesn't hit the lake, you don't see the same picture. So it's a timing, like, so I'm like, okay, let's do it. I give them one radio, and I kept one radio, and I took off with all my strength over there. I finished that thing like in 30 minutes, but I was like, I had to stop every 20 feet, because it was like this, and I was going fast, but I was going, and then I had to stop to breathe. I couldn't breathe. I mean, I was like, and then when I got there, and I tell them in the radio, listen, I'm here. I see you guys like all the way down there in the mountain. I see them, right? They're like not even start the climb yet. And the guy said, oh, you got there? Never. Okay, thank you. I'll see you soon. Because I told him that we got there, my friend is like, oh, he got there? Forget about it. I ain't stopping. Let me go. And they kept going and going, and they got there. And the photography tour guy, like the photographer, his name is Jason Huerta. He lives there in Peru, so he knows all these trips and things, all these things. So Jason Huerta told me, man, I don't know how they made it. That was awesome that you guys made it. So anyway, so we take the picture again. It was like only like 10 people. So you have to kind of take turns to put the tripod, do it quick. I did a panoramic here. So I did many pictures. And then I put it together and post in what is it called? In Lightroom. Yes, pretty much. But the water is just like that. Don't think I paint the water or nothing like that. The water is just that beautiful, gorgeous.
No, it's an awesome picture. Somebody was under. I think that it was about when you were looking at the motion blur that you did on the water. Do you remember how somebody was asking? Do you recall your shutter speeds?
Yes. So the motion blur on the picture, on which one?
I think it was the one was right before this, I think. That
like
one.
this?
Yeah, that one.
This? So 1.6 seconds.
Okay.
So 1.6 seconds is like a sweet spot but sometimes you have to do a little bit more to make it a little bit more white. So it all depends. All depends on the movement of the water. So if you like what you see at 1.6 seconds, obviously leave it there. If you need to leave it a little bit, shoot at 2 seconds or 2.5 seconds and see if it's too much, if it's too little, and then you find what you like. But 1.6 seconds is pretty standard. So here, this pretty much was with the 50 millimeters, what is it called, the Milky Way. This and the foreground. So sometimes when you have a picture like this and the foreground or the mountains are going to be very, very dark. So one of the tricks is that you do 2 exposures, right? You do one exposure for the Milky Way and you capture the Milky Way first. And then you do another exposure with more seconds, because now you don't care about the trailing, about the trails of the stars or nothing like that, right? So if you were shooting at, let's say, 10 seconds open or 15 seconds open or 20 seconds open, well, you're going to shoot at 30 seconds open or 45 to capture more light with leaving the shutter longer to the foreground. And then you put those 2 together in post-production.
And this was with the 7R4, right?
This one here is with the Alpha 1.
Alpha 1.
The Alpha 1. The R4 was just the first picture. This picture, that's with the R4.
So these are all 61 megapixel pictures, is what you're saying.
And only the first one. The second one, the Alpha 1, is only 50 megapixels.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
So only 50 megapixels. And another thing with the Milky Way is the clouds, right? If the clouds come, you're not going to see the stars.
Right.
So it is very critical trying to capture the Milky Way first and everything else before. Even if you want to do focus stacking, for those that are used as Sony, they don't have a specific mode on the camera to do focus stacking, but I can tell you a trick how to do focus stacking. Probably you're doing already, I don't know, but because I know Nikon and things, they have it like in the camera, and that's amazing, or if I keep telling them, to do a firmware update with that. So in my reports, I put it in that we need focus stacking or whatever. But anyway, so the way to do focus stacking is very, very simple. You just grab your camera, you obviously it's on the tripod, and you just put your camera in manual focus. I'm sorry, before that, make sure you have the remote control, the new one, which is a Bluetooth. It costs like $78 or $80 or something like that. It's a Bluetooth. I can show you later if you want me to. I'll go get it, but it's just like a tiny remote control, wireless Bluetooth. So you connect that. On top of that remote control is a plus and minus buttons on top, right? That remote control is great because you can have custom buttons like the camera, like these custom buttons, the same thing are in the remote control. So if you have this customized to do something, to give you a crop, to change the resolution, to change the focus system, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You have this in a tripod and you press that custom button, it's going to do the same thing that you press in this on the camera. But how you do the focus stacking? So you put the camera in manual focus. Don't do the lens. Do just the camera in manual focus. So when you turn it to manual focus, the only thing you have to do is press the minus or the plus button on the remote control. And you start focusing the lens, and you will see a chart on the back of the camera, a little chart where it tells you all the way to infinity. The foreground, like whatever, like 1 meter all the way to infinity, or like 2 feet or 1 feet all the way to infinity. So that little chart, you just keep shooting. So it's a lot of pictures to go through all the whole. A lot of moving parts, a lot of not focal length. I guess is going throughout the range of the whole zoom or the whole focal length. It goes every time you press. So I press like every 10. So I press 10 times that little thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. And then take a picture. And then 1, 2, 3, 10, take a picture. 1, 2, 3, 10, take a picture. So I take probably, I don't know, many pictures, like 30 pictures. But if you want, hola, mami, gracias. Yeah, my baby's bringing me food. So, if you want to take less pictures, just do more clicks on the more clicks. So you can do 20 clicks or 30 clicks and do one. So you do 10 pictures of your focusing stacking. So after you take all these pictures, I mean, obviously you have to put them in post-production. So you select all those 30 pictures or 40 or 50 or 10 pictures, whatever many pictures you took, and you select them and select all of them and hit compose and put them together. No, mamita, no haga eso, mamita linda. Eso es, no haga eso, mamita. So pretty much that's about it. Any questions about that? Because it's that simple. It's extremely simple.
I got a question for you. So
Yes.
you're shooting all these pictures at 50 megapixels, right? So how is this take a lot of time for processing on your system? I'm assuming these are large files, right?
Yes, but the files that I'm showing you right now, they are not done like that. I didn't do focus stacking for this. I'm just, that was just an extra to tell you, like, if you want to do focus stacking. No, if anything, I do too. One for the lower ground and the sky, and that's it. But not all of them. Only like very, very few pictures. So this one was done like that, the top and the bottom. This one here, the one you are seeing now. But I'm gonna show you a different ones that I did not do it. So this is only a single picture. This one, I made a big mistake here. This one I shot it with a 14 millimeters, but because Sony lenses have these buttons on the side. Those buttons are meant to you, so you customize them to do whatever you want, right? To do usually I have them too. You see telephoto lenses, right? So you press it and it will give me a crop factor of 1.5. So if this is a 70 to 200, at 200 it's not going to be 200 anymore. After I press it, it's going to be 300. Why 300? Because it's giving me a crop factor. Instead of reading the whole sensor, it's going to read like an APS-C size sensor, like like a A6600, or in Nikon world, like 7000, Nikon 7000 or 7200 or something like that. In a Canon world, it's going to give me like, like an APS-C, like a Rebel or something like this. It's not a full frame anymore. And that's like to give you reach and do that crop on the camera instead of in the computer, right? So usually when I go to these trips, I change that because of what happened to me here. I was shooting with a 14 millimeters here, but I pressed that by mistake and I didn't realize it. So when I didn't realize it, now I don't have 14 anymore. I have half of 14 plus the 14. So I have what, 20, 14 and 7. So I have 21 millimeters on this picture. And I shot it at this one was with the A7R4. This one was at the same time I shot this. So it's probably like about a year ago or something like this. So this time. Sí, estoy aquí hablando. Un segundito, mamita. Okay. Sí. So this one was at 21 millimeters because I didn't realize it. So, okay, sí, dale, está bien. Sí, está bien, mamita. So I'm sorry about that. So these are 21 millimeters with the A7R4. Now, they don't have a 61 megapixels anymore. They don't have 61 megapixels anymore because now you have a crop. Now you are not shooting with the full frame with the 61 megapixels. Now you're shooting with R4 crop 26 point, almost 27 megapixels with a crop sensor. So this picture is with the R4, but it's not 61 megapixels. It's about close to 27. To 14 millimeters, 1.8. That lens is amazing. It's about this size. But it's very light, extremely light. Any other manufacturer that has a 14 millimeters 1.8 is a Sigma, and it weighs almost 3 times more and it's almost double of size, which is crazy, like crazy. So this is extremely sharp, extremely fast, and extremely light. No, mamita, no. Okay. So I'm gonna show you another picture. So this is only one single exposure, okay? This is no more exposure. So this right here is many exposures. So this one is probably 4 exposures, if I'm not mistaken. 4 or 6, I don't remember, but 4 or 6 exposures. And you see how the foreground is, you know, it's pretty lit up compared to the sky, right? Obviously, but it's because I did what I told you. Not only that I took many pictures, but I also did the trick of I told you, leaving more or longer exposure on the foreground. The foreground. So I will have more a brighter picture in the bottom, so you can see, and I will not break those shadows too much. Yeah. Okay. Está bien, mamita. Está bien.
Hey,
so
I got a question about that foreground. So you're not doing any light painting. You're just exposing for that foreground with the available starlight that's out there. There's no any other lights on out there at all?
Correct. This is in the middle of the mountain. Oh, no, mamita, estoy hablando aquí, mamita, okay? Estoy hablando, discúlpame, mamita.
She's so
exactly. She don't see me that she see me I'm talking, but she don't see nobody talk back. So she's like, oh, I guess I can talk.
That's okay.
So anyway, so yes, I am not doing the light painting, no, because it was, I had to walk a lot over there. I think I do have another picture here with a laser going up with the laser. I haven't fixed those pictures yet because I have so many pictures to fix. But yes, this is not light painting, no.
Well, that's one of the things I find really amazing, especially with that particular camera, is that in very, very low light, for even with the long exposures, it just looks fantastic. You know,
yeah. Listen, this is pitch black. They have numbers, which I don't know those numbers, right? Like Florida is pretty dark, but it's not like the darkest place in the planet, right? Like Florida, like Orlando or something, or it's pretty dark, but it's not like you know. So this place, they told me like it was really. Dale, anda al baño. Sí, anda. No, estoy hablando aquí, mamita. Ya, ahorita voy. Anda, por favor. Anda, que papi está hablando. So it was very dark, very, very dark. And yes, so I have a friend that only do Milky Ways, pretty much, almost like 70% of his pictures. And when he saw these pictures, like the raw pictures, he's like, "Are you kidding me? This is crazy." Because I don't get these pictures. I mean, because he don't travel too much. But he told me this is really crazy. All the details, he said he don't have those details in the Milky Way with his pictures. Not because I'm a better photographer than him or nothing like that. He is way better than me doing this stuff. Even Donovan is very, very good, by the way. But I'm saying better than me, in this kind of shots. But I'm saying that it's because of where I was, which is extremely black, extremely dark places. So yes, Sony is very, very good. Remember, Sony makes sensors for the majority of the camera manufacturers, iPhones, everything. So largest manufacturer of sensors in the world is Sony. And they sell sensors for cars, for all these little, in the back mirror, like when a car is passing you by and you see that red sensor going up, like a car is passing by, those sensors that sense that, those are Sony sensors. I'm telling you, Sony is like they sell sensors to a lot of different things, cameras, but a lot of different things, a lot of different manufacturers. So they know what's in the pipeline for the next years and next years and next years, right? And the next 5 years. So what I'm saying with this is that they determine the trend. If it's going to be megapixels, high dynamic range, quality, they know, like they're really good at what they do, So yes, they are very good at a low light to talk about that. Yes. Any other question, Donovan, or anybody else? So let's go here. This is not in the dark, but it's a sunset. The days that we were there, it was you know, it didn't paint too much. It didn't paint red or nothing like that. Usually, the guide from there, the photographer that took us there, he said usually paint a more beautiful colors, but we didn't got that many colors. I mean, this picture is beautiful. I like it a lot, by the way. Anyway, but you know, it didn't paint in those beautiful colors we were looking for in the sky, like red, extremely blue,
But you know,
and different
you're gonna
things.
have to go back there and do it again.
Yes. And anybody that want to tag along, you know,
12
let me
hours
know.
on the road. Yeah, there we go.
I am planning a trip to Yellowstone next year. So probably I'm trying to pick the days, like the best days to go to Yellowstone. But I want to spend there, I don't know, 5 days or 7 days. We want to go into the, you know, a little, not helicopters, but like, you know, these planes that fly over the thing to shoot, because there's some things that you definitely cannot lift up a drone to shoot down. And we're trying to plan a nice trip to Yellowstone. So
Yeah,
next year.
the pictures you've shown tonight are just and when you showed me at the store, I was just breathtaking. They were blowing me away. They were just breathtaking, especially that last one with the Milky Way on there. I mean, again, that's where I'm more partial to, but the landscape photos are just drop dead gorgeous. Hey, wait, that image right there. Can you just click on that one right there? Yeah, no. That one right there. Yeah.
So this one I haven't shown you guys. Yes.
Yeah. So that's your camping, right?
Yeah, that was my camping. Yes. So let me explain you. So here to here, it was about 40, 50 minutes walking from here all the way to the other place. Wow. So yes. So and we went over the other mountains too, because at different days, the mountains on the left, we saw a condor, like everybody talk about these condors over there in Peru, like they're big or whatever. But when we saw it, it was so majestic, man. It was like a dream. It was like, no way. It was so big and it was so high, and it came down going like this. Oh my goodness, it was awesome, man. It was so majestic, man. Seeing this big bird, like it was big, man. I don't even know what how many feet span it was, but it was crazy, amazing.
Well, so, Ranieri, I just want to say thank you very much. Now, does anybody have any other questions for Mr. Ranieri here? There was a comment that says about, it says when you did the 2 exposures, it's like kind of cheating a little bit. And I answered back, I said, no, because the exposure is different for each area. So it's the only way to capture the details. You got to basically photograph one, then photograph the other one, and then slap those two boys together.
I tell you this, it's a little tricky, man. It's a little tricky to say that it's cheating. Yeah. So this is what I have to say. No. Check this out.
There's another question that just came up. So go ahead and finish that.
Oh, so what I have to say is this. So if you feel it's cheating, so you don't do it then. So don't do it because you want to do it with one exposure, and it's absolutely fine. And you have to do what you love, what you like, what you love. And, if somebody criticizes you, it's completely fine. It's okay. But to me, I'm going to do whatever I like, I'm going to paint, if you paint, I can say, oh, it's cheating as well with it, or because even in film, you have to paint and you have to do different things in the light room, right? In the dark room, you got to develop that thing, and you can brighten it up, you can darken it up, you can do anyway. But you have to do what you love, man. And that's
the key thing. You got to do what you like.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I got another question here from Margaret. She wants to know, and I'm going to probably paraphrase her now. She says, how the hell do you find these freaking locations?
So, good question. Well, we kind of research the best places where we can go, like the best places we can go, right? So let me show. So we find kind of the best guide tours that we can get, and we're trying to go. We're going in September to Africa. We're going back to Alaska in July, and you know, and I'm going to a different place in Alaska. It was only out of the 5 days, I'm going 2 days at the same place because it was amazing. But three other days is gonna be a different place. Sí, ya va, mamita, estoy hablando. Okay. So, and then, so what happened is that this time in Alaska, they're gonna take us in these planes, right? And when we see the bears down, this guy is gonna come very close and stop in the water. We're gonna get off the plane, shoot the bears or photograph the bears, and get into that plane again. See. So yes. So the locations. Peru is beautiful. So that, you know, Peru is beautiful. I've been 3 times to Machu Picchu, you know, and last time we stayed in the hotel in the top in Machu Picchu. So it's kind of easier to get off, get in, get off. Mami, sí, pero Machu Picchu, pero I'm talking, my baby. So, yes, we're just trying to find the best places, and if we can go, then we go. If not, you know, we can. But yes. If you want me to show you some bear pictures, it's okay. If not, because I didn't know it was that late. It's 8:15.
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. But yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, cool beans. Well, Ronnie,
Yeah,
I can't thank
much.
you enough. I really appreciate you sharing some of this stuff tonight.
Do you see these pictures or no?
Yeah, I can see the bears. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah, so this is what lately I was working on.
There it is. All right. See, I'm looking to see if anybody else posted any pictures tonight. So I'm gonna go from there. Okay, great. Hey,
yes.
here,
so thank you very much. Thank you very much for the invitation. And if I can, in any other day that you want to do the same thing, just please let me know. And anything
I know
that
I'm
I can
probably
help,
gonna
I
have to
help
look
you
up
guys.
for another print for the store.
Oh, yeah. Yes, absolutely. I have many other you know, pictures.
Okay.
But yes.
Right. So I need to share something on my screen. So if you want to stop sharing, I'm gonna go ahead.
Stop sharing.
I'm gonna see if we
Absolutely.
can't wrap it up real quick for these guys. Yeah, take a look at the chats. I think they're just saying some nice things to you now. So you might want to take a look at your
The
chat.
chat. Let me see. Oh, the chat. How he find the locations. Listen, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, and your daughter is very, very lovely.
Oh yeah, mira, te quieren ver, mira.
She is a great helper. I could see that already.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, she's here. Mira ya, eh. Dile hola.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's 3.5. Oh, you have to turn this on, baby.
All right. So
Kevin,
I talked with Kevin on Tuesday night, and he was talking about where he was at, and he shot this picture up north. This is the Andromeda Galaxy up here for this.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, hang on. I got to get my presenter notes up here. I can't read them now. So he says it was a Bortle 2 Sky. This was his second attempt. He got 2 good nights in 8 weeks. Used a lens heater, which helped him tremendously preventing condensation. But if you run this problem, he shot this on a Nikon D5300 for the smaller pixel size with the Nikon 500 millimeter catadioptric mirror lens with a fixed f8. Tracked, not guided, 240, 30 seconds, subs at 160 ISO. So, I mean, you know, yeah, that's a lot of work to get something like that, but you can tell that this isn't it's amazing the amount of detail that you can capture these days on some of this stuff there. It's just beautiful, beautiful stuff. All right. So basically, I just want to go over. These are some of the pictures I finished up from my end of my Milky Way season. So this is one thing that me and Glidden and Mary Margaret went out to the Wild Island, Florida, out there, and this was a really cool place. I did some stack, but we got clouds and stuff. Well, we got lucky a little bit. This was at the Ona Cemetery, so if you guys got a chance to go out there, this is one of my edits from this one. But the one that everyone's been asking me about is this one right here, and asking me how I finished this particular one. So I'm going to go over this one really quickly on here for you guys. So this is what it looked like originally. So what happened was somebody was leaving, and eventually their lights hit the background, and of course you could see a little bit of their lights right there. So what happened was, oops, wrong way. Give me a second, guys. Sorry about that. There it is.
That's just beautiful, man. Beautiful, beautiful.
So right here, from so there's that. So I basically wanted to get rid of that little bit of the car right there, and then basically I
know that.
I tweaked a little bit of the background, and I was really concentrating on the trees at that particular point. And then what I did was I brought back the sky after that, after I got done with the trees, and I brought back the sky from the original picture, and then I just cleaned it up a little bit in there, a little bit more, and then I went back into since I didn't like how the cemetery stones were working out, I eventually had to end up getting my own cemetery pictures. And there we go. Those are those. And that's what it looked like before I added those things in there. So once I added those in there, then of course darkened them up a bit. So that ended up being the final picture for the whole entire thing. So this is just me working in Photoshop, working in many layers to try to make some lemonade out of this one particular exposure. I don't know who was the one driving, but we won't name names. But yeah, if anybody wants me to do any deeper edit cuts and stuff like that, I'll be more than glad to do that. Just let me know what you would like me to do, and I'll be glad to do stuff like that for you guys. It's not a problem. Glenn, did you say you had something to share?
Not me.
Not you? Okay.
Now today, actually, I got to the finally today. I got to the Wild Island pictures. Those are next to be edited. Next to be edited. So.
Well, that's cool. I'm looking forward to seeing those.
Hopefully before Christmas, I'll be done.
Do I still? Yeah, I still offer one-on-one classes. If you guys are interested in that, I can certainly give you I'm doing a lesson tomorrow for another guy who needs some help doing the panoramic stitching and stuff like that. So if you guys really want that type of stuff, I'll be glad to help you out with that. It's not a problem. Just let me know and we can work something out. Again, I want to thank Ranieri for jumping in and his little one for helping him out tonight. She was certainly a great asset to the presentation. Appreciated that. But again, I really, the reason I brought Ranieri in because again, I just loved his photos that she was showing at the store for the trip. Again, he went to an amazing place. Not easy to get to. He said, 12 hours. He broke his back. Well, he broke his back. He hurt his back. But the idea is he got some amazing stuff for the amount of time and travel that was on there. It's just amazing.
I remember. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I remember the story I wanted to tell you. One day, because of the altitude, I had a headache and headache, right? Because of the altitude. Usually it doesn't hit me. Man, and my friend, like everybody went out and shoot. They were shooting, and I was in the tent, and I'm like, screw this. I'm going to shoot. Cold, extremely cold outside, snowing, headache. And I tell you what, and I went outside of the tent to the bathroom, to pee. And when I went like this, and I saw that sky, all the stars, I'm like, no way. The headache went away. And I went to my tent, grabbed the camera, and of course, after I went to the bathroom, I'm like, I can't miss this. I can't miss this. That was, and I started shooting. And actually, I think that was the place. That was one of the pictures that the composition of because it was amazing. Yes.
Hey Ranieri, post your Insta. Did you put your link for your Instagram or anything like that on there?
No, but let me put it in. Let me put it in.
Hey, the other thing too, tonight also is the lunar eclipse, but as most of you might have heard about that, but I don't know where you are, but right now it's very, very wet and rainy. I don't think we're going to get a very good representation. But there's also the Winter Star Party that's coming up. That's going to be I think in Miami.
It's down in the Keys.
Down in the Keys, yeah, okay.
That's Camp Sawyer.
Camp Sawyer down in Pine Key. And if you guys are interested, you can probably find it real quickly on Facebook on the Winter Star Party. I'll post a link in for that. If you haven't been to a star party before, it's really kind of fun. It's they don't like it when you shine a lot of bright light, so they get really persnickety with that. So make sure you get a decent red light to take with you. It's mainly for not only to help out with exposure, but also to prevent your vision from getting wrecked by the night blindness.
Gives you a better view of the southern star.
Yeah, better view of the southern stars too, as well too. Yeah, yeah. But again, Ranieri, thank you very much. Now, does anybody have any other questions from anything about anything that we went over in here and stuff tonight? You can you should be able to unmute yourself if you can. If not, let me know. We'll be glad to open it up. But other than that, you guys are more than welcome to take off. I appreciate you taking the time. I really, really enjoy when you guys come in, and I love it when we can get some guests in here to share. Now, if you go on a fantastic trip and take some great Milky Way photos too, I will be more than glad to give you the floor. But you got to have somebody like that be as your helper, like Ranieri's got.
My friend is in Iceland right now, and the stars are amazing, and amazing, and I couldn't take off work. It's very busy now, but next time I will try to go.
Right.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I still want to go to Yellowknife. You know, what was his Dr. Sagaldo? You know, I really.
Wait, where?
You know what? There was a Dr. Sagaldo, the guy that did the Aurora Borealis. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yes.
I want to go up to Yellowknife and do that one day.
We can plan something, and definitely we can go, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
Let's plan that in advance, and then we'll go.
Yep.
It is now in my bucket list, Dono, to go over there.
Yeah. Apparently there was a lot of activity. So this was Mac was reminding me this was the year to go because of all the solar activity this year.
Yep.
So.
The last 2 weeks, actually, I think even this week, you could, if you were in an area where it was visible, you can grab your phone and point it up and film, and that was it. You know, it was that strong.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you all very much. I appreciate it. All right, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Don.
Margaret.
Thank you, guys.
Nick.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Kay.
Bye-bye.
Oh, hey, Kay. I hope you had. I'll send you the video for the thing that I forgot to. I had trouble with the last meeting with somebody trying to bust in with the trolls. So I had to lock the meeting out. Hopefully that will that again.
Hey, Donna, you'll send over the stuff for the 16 by 20s are larger that you want us
Yeah,
to.
I'm gonna talk a little bit more with Mac here. Just make sure I've got all my ducks in a row, and then, but the reason I want to tell you guys, start getting working on finding your images to get ready for process. 16 by 20 to 20 by 30, and I'll put the hanging requirements and all that other fun stuff in.
All right, thanks.
Oh, not a problem. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Have a great night, and I'll see you out there in the dark. I like it. That's my new catchphrase. See you out there in the dark. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Lynn. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.